I'm doing content marketing at iFAST TV, and I'm also taking up the role as a producer. And welcome to the special episode on the making of iFAST TV, a brand new division of iFAST, where we'll be creating video contents that are relevant, informative, and engaging for all investors. It is launched with the same mission in mind, which is to help investors around the world to invest globally and profitably. So let's go speak to some of the key people involved in this whole setup journey. Let's go! Okay, so first and the most important one, let's head over to the CEO office to look for Changchun, our executive chairman, who is also the CEO and co-founder of iFAST. Let's speak to him to find out more about how the idea of iFAST TV came about.
I think the internet has really changed the world. It used to be that various people, when trying to reach out to many people, you have to rely on various intermediaries, various media, various TV stations. We used to do that. We will continue to do that. But the internet basically opened up a new channel. You can reach out directly to consumers, to investors. iFAST is in the business of investing, helping investors around the world to invest globally and profitably. And we reckon that if we have iFAST TV, that will actually be able to help us do the job better. It will help us to educate investors, send communication to investors directly, more easily, as well as to help our partners that we work with, the financial advisors, the fund managers, to send their communication and their education. So that's the reason behind iFAST TV. Simply because that is the most direct way to send a message of what we're trying to achieve. When you go home, you want to watch something about a particular topic, you take the remote and you turn on the TV. So the idea here really is that there's a place for you to go to, an app, right? Especially that where you turn on the app and then you can watch some programs, some topics on a particular area that you're interested in. And yeah, that's why iFAST TV is the right name for it. I think the first thing really is the ability to reach out to lots of people. It used to be that in terms of how we educate investors, how we send our communication, we are limited quite a bit by the physical sizes and so on, but the idea of iFAST TV essentially allows us to reach out a lot more. You cut across borders as well, and you help not just ourselves, and we would like to be able to work closely with our partners, the financial advisors, the fund managers, who have various belief and understanding about how to manage finances better, as well as investment strategy, etc. So iFAST TV will be able to play a good role in directly reaching out to investors and consumers from that perspective. Simply because that is where our iFAST office is. This is our HQ, and that will be the easiest way. And here in the CBD, this is also where lots of our partners are working nearby, or perhaps it's easy for them to travel here if they need to. So certainly this is a right location. Not at all. Our conference room or training room that we used to call it, that used to be able to take 100 people. So we're talking about giving seminar and training, and then we have to limit the number of attendees to 100 people. But with iFAST TV, we're talking about being able to broadcast into the thousands and hopefully eventually millions. And so it is a very simple trade-off, so easy decision, I would say.
Okay, thank you, boss, for your time.
Thank you.
So I guess we are probably one of the few handful of studios situated in the middle of the CBD area. Come check out the view from our office. Wow! Okay, now let's move on to look for Jean-Paul, the Director of the Corporate Communications, to find out more about the branding and objective of iFAST TV.
What is the main objective of setting up iFAST TV?
The main reason why we set up iFAST TV is to help our investors to invest globally and profitably, but via a very informative and entertaining way. So that's really the main reason why we came up with a new iFAST TV concept. At iFAST Corp, for the last 2 decades or so that we've been around, our mission statement is simply to help investors invest globally and profitably. So in many things that we do, we try to think of how we can achieve that. So, for example, we have a team of regional analysts that are based in the various places where iFAST is present in. And what they do is they do research on the ground on the various markets, and also give advice on asset allocation, portfolio construction, and so on. So all this while, in the last 2 decades, they've been writing articles, they've been giving presentations to clients and advisors. And of course, in the last couple of years, there's been a lot more webinars. So that is usually how we communicate with clients. But with iFAST TV, what we want to achieve and bring to the next higher level is really to allow investors and advisors to hear our analysts, and especially also our partners, including the financial advisors, our fund house partners, and influencers as well, to talk about markets, to talk about all the various things that matter in the investment world. And on iFAST TV, it's going to be so accessible, and there will be a lot of programs, many different types, where investors can hear about investing and so on. And we just want to make it very easy for them to have access to all this information.
So will we expect to see more corporate branding through iFAST TV?
Yes, there will be a lot of opportunities for iFAST TV to provide branding opportunities for ourselves, our analysts, as well as our partners. So these are people we collaborate with to share more about investment ideas to our viewers and investors. So for example, we have wealth advisors who use our iFAST platform in Singapore and other parts of the world. They will be able to talk about what matters in wealth advisory, what matters when it comes to giving good investment ideas to clients. We also work with fund managers and analysts who work in fund houses across the world. So they cover markets on a day-to-day basis. So we want to hear from them as well, and it will be a great opportunity to brand their ideas to our viewers. And of course, we also work with investment influencers. So these are people who cover exchanges, stocks and ETF ideas, and portfolio ideas as well. So again, another wonderful opportunity, I think, for all these partners of ours to speak to viewers around the world.
Who are the target audience for iFAST TV?
So if you're someone who wants to make better investment decisions, iFAST TV is the place for you to listen to and to watch all the various programs that we have. So when it comes to investing, it matters in terms of who you listen and hear from, because we want to bring the best investment ideas, right, from all the people that we work with, and they are in different parts of the world, covering different sectors, different stocks, different ETFs, and other asset classes on a day-to-day basis. So we want to bring these ideas to you in a very easy way, and we'll connect to them via iFAST TV for you to listen to them. The other idea that I have is, of course, for investing, it's always linked to the purpose behind why we want to invest, which is, to make more money. But behind that, it's also for a reason. So it could be for retirement planning. It could be to provide enough funds and money for, our family members, or perhaps our children, and so on. And we also want to go into these kind of ideas for you, so that you can better understand how you can plan your investment planning. And we have in some of the programs, for example, the Financial Advisors series, wealth advisors who will be sharing with you how they run their advisory and business practice on a day-to-day basis. So if you're someone who actually have a lot of passion for investing and want to make a career out of it, So it will be very interesting and I think insightful for you to hear from the wealth advisors on how they carry out their business on a day-to-day basis. And our programs are mostly in English, but we do have a few programs that are in Mandarin Chinese as well as Cantonese. So we try to also cater to the different languages and dialects. So please tune into iFAST TV if you want to hear all these different programs in the different languages and dialects.
What are some of the programs you can expect?
So I mentioned a little bit just now about the Financial Advisor series, where you'll hear from wealth advisors talking about investments, talking about portfolios, asset allocations, and of course, in a very Singapore context, they will also be talking about how you can make use of your cash, make it work harder for you, but at the same time, also other forms of payment modes like your CPF as well as your SRS. And besides, the Financial Advisor series, we also have the Investment Resume, which is really a spotlight on different guests that we have. And these guests will be sharing with you how they started off investing, how they started off perhaps their career in the financial world, and what are some of the lessons and the tips they have learned throughout all these years going through different market cycles, the ups and downs in global markets, what have they learned and what they can share with us. So these are some of the series that I think are going to be very interesting. I also mentioned previously that investment influencers are people we work with. So they also will have various programs in various forms, hopefully very entertaining forms as well for you to watch as they tackle many different investment concepts and ideas.
So how can viewers watch programs from the channel?
Our viewers and investors can watch all the different programs on iFAST TV via our mobile app and website. And of course, for our investors who want to watch the programs on your various iFAST related websites and mobile apps, you can do so via iFAST Group's different websites and mobile applications.
Hi, my name's Fintan McKiernan. I'm from Ideal Systems, and we build studios and video production facilities across Asia. I'm sitting here in the new iFAST studio. So iFAST contacted us to convert their existing training room into a set of studios and video production facilities that could also accommodate live streaming up to 4K. So I want to give you a quick look around at the studio and what we did here and the technology that we used to build it. So follow me, we'll go have a look around over here. First is the first set, and then this is kind of really the second set here, which is a very large, long LED video wall. This allows a presenter or the talent to show illustrations, graphs, and also because of the technology we've used, we can bring in Skype and Zoom calls and actually have interactions with them live on the video wall and stream that live as well. So we can actually have one or multiple callers coming in at different times during the production or during the show. So this is really the second set. The sets are all kind of around the cameras in the middle, so we've optimized the space. So if we come on around here, we kind of change into the third set. This is a casual set, kind of more relaxed interview style, small personal interview style set. And you can see here, I'm getting very bright. We have a lot of studio lighting here. The professional studio lighting here is all, again, centrally located, pushing out to the edge. And then over in the next set, in the chroma set, you can see there's a lot of lighting here because it's very important that we have strong lighting for the chroma set. So on our way to the chroma set, past some of the cameras here, you'll also notice cameras are fitted with the teleprompters. Teleprompter here actually uses a very neat bit of technology, also from New Tech. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But we can import the text into the teleprompter in Word, and we can actually put in commands in the Word document to make the production switcher switch cameras or do types of visual effects automatically straight out of the Word document and on the text of the teleprompter. So some of the actions in the production are tied to the correct timing in the script. So some kind of cool Hollywood magic going on there. Here in the chroma set, so a very large chroma set, 8-9 meter back wall by 3+ meters deep. This allows a variety of sets to be arranged, multiple participants for larger discussions, and it's all chroma set. So we key in the switcher, and the technology we use at the back end will allow a full virtual set here. And also, same as with the LED video wall, we can actually bring in Zoom calls virtually in this augmented reality space or virtual reality space. We can bring in video calls, so we can actually have hybrid discussions with the people who are present and people coming in on Zoom, Teams, Skype, and various other mechanisms to bring them in live, but they'll be in space because we can key in the whole background. It also allows iFAST to have a multitude of different sets, and they can go and change, update, seasonal, different events, and so on. So the chroma set provides a huge amount of extra functionality, as well as the fixed sets for regular programming as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the technology if you come this way. First off, the entire set and the entire studio, all of the video technology is based on NDI, Network Device Interface. So this is a new type of technology that has supplanted the SDI, the serial digital interface that most studios use today. And there's a number of advantages in using NDI technology, and I'll talk about one here. So these cameras here are all remote controlled from the control room. And in the old days, you had a coax cable, a power cable, and you had a control cable as well. All these cables going in. So if you've got a number of cameras, you've got 3 cables going out to each of them. Here you can see just one cable, and it's just a standard Ethernet, a standard computer cable, power over Ethernet. So in this cable, it's a 5-in-1 cable. So we've got the power, we've got the control for the power, tilt, and zoom of the camera. We've got the tally, which is a little light that tells the presenter which camera is on, which camera is live, which camera to look at, and the audio and the video. So 5-in-1, all down into one cable. So big reduction in cables, makes it much easier to manage the studio. So talking about the studio management, if we come back and if you follow me, I'm going to go into the control room at the back here. So I'm going to follow the cameraman and the other person actually. Not getting biffed by the boom. And so in the back of the room here, behind me is the green room. So this is where we've got a kind of a preparation changing room, if you like. And then we're coming into the control room here. So in the control room, you can see a reasonably standard looking studio control room. But in actual fact, most of the function of the control room has been compressed down into this one operator area here. So this is based on the TriCaster 2 Elite from NewTek. This is a kind of a magical bit of equipment, right? Because for a company like iFAST, who is a fintech company, is not a broadcaster, they don't have a lot of broadcast engineers. So in NewTek, they've compressed a lot of the different functions that you would have in a standard studio into this one device, into this one piece of technology. So in this device, you have the ability to do the switches and the fades between the cameras. You can also bring in through a technology in the NewTek called call collect, and that allows the management of Skype calls, Zoom calls, and Teams calls, and especially during COVID, these are very important because a lot of your interviews are going to be remote. So they can all be brought in and managed in this and brought into the studio, either on the LED wall or into the chroma set, into the virtual space as well, for interaction with the presenter. This also does the graphics, the switching, so people will get lower thirds with their name on them and all of that. But it also does, it sounds like an awful lot, and it is an awful lot, it also does the encoding and the streaming. So this studio is dual purpose. It can make content that becomes available afterwards on the iFAST app, but it can also live stream to the iFAST app, or in some cases you might want to live stream to your social media, maybe to the iFAST Facebook or iFAST YouTube or something like that as well. So this can do all of that simultaneously. So it compresses a huge amount of function into this small form factor, and you can see here even right down to the control of the PTZ, the remote cameras as well, all into one device. What that does is it simplifies the use of the whole studio. It means that the studio can be run with less overhead, less staff, and it also means that the whole production is very focused and very concentrated and really easier. We've cut down on the cable, we've cut down on the number of devices. The other devices here are simply an audio mixer and a lighting control, so that people can be focused on the creativity, on the content, and remember, we're shooting in 4K or up to 4K. This will stream out in 4K, so you're getting this really high quality, rich content out to the viewers with very high production values, and in a system that's relatively easy to use, and certainly by comparison to the world that we've come from in broadcast, dramatically easier to use. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my quick tour around the iFAST studio.
Okay, and finally, let's go look for Yan Ling, who by the way is also my direct boss. She's the head of iFAST TV, who oversees the entire division setup since day one. Just some background information. She was previously managing a team at the B2B business development side. Let's go find out what made her take up this position to head a brand new department, and what are some of the challenges that she faced along the way. Okay, so now I'm at the iFAST TV studio to have an interview with our boss Yan Ling. Hi! Hi Yan Ling. Before we start, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone first?
Hi everyone, I'm Yan Ling. I've been in iFAST since 2013, and I've always been in the business development team prior to setting up iFAST TV.
Okay, so I think like everyone is quite curious because previously you were managing a team, right? And you were doing pretty well. So what actually made you want to take up a brand new department and to head this?
So this all started sometime in first quarter 2021 when Chang Chun and Wee Kyung spoke to me about the plans to set up iFAST TV. And of course, with the name of this new department, it definitely excites me with all the ideas and all the things we could do in this new department. So during that period, Chang Chun also shared his overall vision for iFAST TV with me and his plans to convert the training room into a broadcast studio. So it's not every day that you get such an exciting opportunity. So it was definitely an easy decision to move from the business development team to head up this brand new department. So things moved pretty quickly after that to plan for my transition and to set up this new division.
So what are some of the challenges that you face in this whole process of setting up iFAST TV?
So basically, the ideas and plans we have for iFAST TV gets bigger and bigger as we get more excited over all the possibilities of what we could do in this new department. But of course, at the same time, we need to be realistic on what's practical to roll out in the different phases too. So I think the initial challenge was actually hiring an entire new team, especially a production team, and at the same time, juggling the handover and transition my previous role all at the same time. And of course, with the COVID situation in Singapore in the second half of last year, that definitely posed a huge challenge as it affected the studio renovation timeline, teammates who hasn't met each other in person other than via Zoom, talents who didn't want to participate in filming due to COVID, or in fact, even last-minute filming cancellation due to quarantine order. So this all definitely add on to the challenges that I wasn't fully prepped for right at the start. So with the timeline to soft launch iFAST TV in December last year, my current team actually had to make do with all the initial filming in the office meeting rooms that actually has no soundproofing, there's ongoing renovation work in the office, and existing equipments and lightings way before our studio was actually ready and available in November.
So we all heard that there's actually a very expensive price tag to this whole studio. Can you share with us how much was the whole renovation and how long did it take to complete?
So the renovation costs a high six-digit figure. So this actually includes all the equipment that we have in the studio as well. So basically, we finalized the design with Ideal sometime in June last year, and the entire renovation took about 4 to 5 months to complete. So our official handover of our studio was actually in November last year.
So this whole studio, which part is your favorite part of the studio and why?
It's a difficult decision as I was very much involved in the entire studio design and was deciding on all the little details here, from the color of the door to the choice of furniture to the type of brick wall that we actually have. So it's definitely a very difficult decision on which exactly is my favorite part of the studio. But if I really have to, then it will be the news anchor set that actually has a huge iFAST TV logo, as I think that's one of the most popular picture spots whenever we have guests who visits our studio.
Sounds like a very exciting role to head a new department. So can you let us know, can you describe how is a typical week like for you?
Very busy. So my days are usually filled with meetings, discussions on programs, marketing schedule, partnership discussions, IT meeting, as well as regular catch-up with my team on the project status and planning. So otherwise, I will be reviewing all the scripts before we go into production, as well as final cuts to make sure that everything is good before the videos are scheduled for broadcast. So I will also try to find time to be in the studio during filming just to ensure everything is running smoothly.
We have one last question, which is like a personal question for all of us and the team. Do you have any memorable moments with the team so far?
Definitely, I think there are quite a handful. But I think by far the most memorable for me was when we came back to the studio on the first Saturday after the studio renovation was completed, to realize that the aircon wasn't working and the central building aircon was off as well because it's a weekend. So by the time I came by to visit the set in the afternoon, right, I could feel the heat in the studio, and all our poor talents were actually in jackets trying to stay cool and calm. So I'm very, very thankful for my team who's very committed, as well as Danny and team who was with us filming the entire day without aircon. But of course, we have since fixed the studio aircon and it's working very well now, even on weekends.
Yeah man, I remember we were all sweating over here. Okay, I think that's all we have for you. Thanks Yanling.
Thanks, Chloe. Thank you. So this is Chris. He was the one who helped to resolve our aircon issue during one of those Saturdays that we came back to office for filming. So Chris also helps to oversee the entire iFAST TV studio renovation work, and as well as he's also in charge of the entire iFAST TV mobile app and website UI and UX team.
Okay, now let's hear about the look for our producers.